They're not, and they've been very difficult to live and compete against. And I think it starts at the top with their ownership, John Henry and Tom Warner, who have been, groundbreaking, trailblazing type owners, where they've, collected a bunch of great players, but also used the human element, big data, and also invested tremendous in the resources. And Fenway is just an amazing place. But look, the Yankees have been at top of their game for over 100 years, and I think right now they're going to invest a great deal of capital and resources and time to get the crown back to the Bronx.
And this game next year, there's going to be a real edge because the Red Sox beat the Yankees in the divisional playoff on the way to the World Series, and in one of those games, the Yankee Stadium, 16-1.
Oops,
Alex, they're going to want to try to shake that off when they come to London, certainly.
Well, you guys know firsthand how much pride and tradition there is here, and when you think about Liverpool and how passionate you guys are about your soccer, American, we call it soccer, you guys call it football. That was obviously an embarrassing game, and one that we won't forget for a long time. And I can tell you that Hal Steinbrenner and Brian Cashman are working around the clock to figure out how can they get that crown back from the Red Sox to the Bronx.
Yeah, you mentioned Liverpool there, and of course they share the same owners with the Red Sox, and also have adopted similar principles and have bought, in the transfer market. You don't have that in American sport, but they do here in a similar way, and they've built a Moneyball process, and it's really working for them. So it will be interesting. Yeah, the Yankees haven't won a World Series since 2009. That must be a concern.
Well, not since 2009. That was the team that I was on, and fortunate to be part of that great team. But only one championship over the last 20 years. So, that's an eternity. And, our fans are much like here, Manchester United. They're great. They're passionate. They're very, very smart. But they expect a lot. And to be a Yankee means you're a world champion. And if you would ask Yankee fans overall, just 1 in 20 years is not good enough. And they're hungry to get back to number 28.
Not many guys have played for both teams, such as the animosity over the years. I mean, Roger Clemens did. I mean, I understand at one point, there was some talk about you joining the Red Sox, Alex. Hello?
You didn't like that question.
Yeah, I think that's it.
He's throwing the phone. He's throwing the phone out of the car.
Well, I know. I think he was.
So, I can hear you now.
Oh, good. Okay. Yeah, sorry. I thought me suggesting that you nearly joined the Red Sox at one time made you put the phone down on us. But that was the case, wasn't it? There was some talk of it.
Yeah. Any tough question you ask, I just pretend I can't hear you. Give my secret away.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what? Back in the day, it was such a no-no. I know George Steinbrenner, the legendary owner that bought the team in 1973 from CBS. He would not really take on Red Sox players, and I think it was vice versa. As of the last couple of decades, it's been something that has been a little bit more common, and we have shared players going back and forth. But I would still think like the really big star players, it's rare that it happens.
Now, in terms of star players coming over next year, the Yankees, Aaron Judge, who's a pretty special player, beast, and I think MVP this year, Mookie Betts as well plays for the Red Sox. So, a couple of big names to enjoy.
To enjoy is right, and the fact that you mentioned Aaron Judge and Mookie Betts. Mookie just won the MVP. He's the exact opposite of Aaron Judge. I mean, he's similar in a way where he's a great player, great character, young, and brings a lot of energy to the Red Sox and to all of baseball, but he's only 5'9" and weighs under 175 pounds. If you think about Aaron Judge, who's 6'7", 280, and can hit a ball over 500 feet, you have to see it, you have to hear it, you have to smell it. It is phenomenal. And one of the things that people don't talk about is, Aaron Judge is, adopted by two parents that are lifetime educators. His older brother, John, is in Korea. He's an English teacher there. And you think about Mookie Betts. During the World Series, he came to New York. He shows up at a shelter and gives out food. And when this leaked, he was actually upset that it leaked. I mean, this is the kind of players that we have. They're giving back. There's a double bottom line. They're thinking about what's good. And we get to bring our best across the pond to show off or try. Well, this is a really job interview for us. We really want to put our best foot forward and impress the folks here in London.
You went to the stadium yesterday. We saw in the papers today. You pictured there. How do you think it'll shape up? Because the configuration for a baseball stadium, it's different from a football stadium or an athletic stadium like the London Stadium. So, could you envisage when you were standing there the diamond and how it's all going to work?
Oh, I mean, I envisioned it perfectly. You know, the irony of that stadium, it was built for the Olympics in 2012, but it's more like a baseball stadium because the circular stadium is the way that all the stadiums back in the 60s and 70s were built back in America. And it reminds me of the old Cincinnati, the old Philly, the current Oakland, where I can see you're not going to believe what Major League Baseball is going to do in 3.5 weeks and convert that stadium from a soccer field to a Major League Baseball field.
Who's this a home game for, Alex, out of the two sides?
This is a home game for the Boston Red Sox.
Okay.
So they will be on the first base side and the dugout, and the Yankees would be visitors wearing the gray uniform on the third base side.
Okay. So we'll get a bit of Sweet Caroline, will we, on the night, you think?
Well, you get a little bit of both. You get Sweet Caroline, and then you get a little Sinatra.
Okay. Oh, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
And the seventh inning stretch and all those things, all the traditions.
Well, that's a bit more edge, isn't it? Because the Red Sox boys were after the divisional win, they were singing New York, New York in the locker room. So again, this is all adding to the to the edge in this game, I think.
Let me tell you how big the rivalry is. I'm sitting there in Dodger Stadium after Game 5. Now they're celebrating. Their champagne is flowing. MVP, Commissioner Manfred, gives up the commissioner's trophy. And you have about 20,000 people left that are all Red Sox fans saying, Yankees suck. Yankees suck. They just won a championship.
Yeah.
Well, they just wanted to rub it in.
Rivalry.
Yeah. And the Fenway organist, will the Fenway organist be coming as well, do you think? They're going to bring the whole shebang over?
We're like the Barney Army. We travel heavy. We bring in the organists. Everybody's coming down. It's going to be very exciting.
Sounds good. And people can register for tickets, can't they? I know my own son did this morning, so he's very delighted, and that gives you a better chance of getting tickets.
Look, I heard recently that London is open for business and baseball. One proposal is we ask Manchester United and Liverpool to come play at Fenway or Yankee Stadium, and we can host them as well. We would love to have more soccer in the United States.
Okay.
Alex, good to talk to you. Enjoy your time over here, and we'll hopefully see you next year for those games. Thanks very much.
Thank you for your time.
There we are. A-Rod there, Alex Rodriguez. And yeah, you can pre-register if you fancy going along to the London Stadium for those two games. You can pre-register. I think tickets go on sale December the 3rd. And general sale from the same time on December. So you're getting a sort of 3-day hit if you pre-register. So go and check that out. It's MLB.com/London Series. And I mean, as I said, the problem they had, we talked to Richard Gould about this at the Oval, didn't we? He said that they played some pre-season games, but I think the MLB had problems with the actual size of the Oval.
You do need a huge area.
And that's why they couldn't get a regular season game in. So at last we can. So that's good news. Excellent.
Good.
Still to come, Ronnie O'Sullivan joins us a little bit later on. Also...